Hello, folks. It's me, the one and only, your favorite NBA Yap artist, back at it once again here in the multi-billion, yes, I said billion-dollar cabin in the woods here, enjoying it with my great cup of coffee, right? Having a great time. If you enjoy daily NBA content, leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe, leave a heart. Getting close to 10,000 subscribers. We talk about the NBA every single day here, which we love doing. The league's been so good this year. It's the most basketball I've ever watched to start a season. I've absolutely loved it. Every first Friday of the month, I want to come on here and kind of do a power rankings video. Not that I necessarily love doing power rankings, but just because it gives us an opportunity to kind of gloss over each and every single team in the league, just kind of see where some of these teams are at. These rankings for me are more so, I take away any preseason, expectations from any of these teams, and I'm just kind of putting them where I think they fit in terms of legit contention in the league. Okay, it's a 1 through 30 ranking, sure, but it's more a tier ranking than anything else. Let's get into it. First and foremost, before we start, sip of coffee. Nespresso, what am I going to do with you? What am I going to do with you? Let's get into it. Here are the tiers. I went to AP as the bottom tier. We might need to rework the naming on this. I feel like it's a little tiny bit played out. Is there a Darren Peterson one yet? Is there any edits of him yet? The fun bad tier, that's kind of self-explanatory. The play-in tier presented by the Chicago Bulls. Spoiler alert, the Bulls are not in this tier. Pick where they're going to be. Top 6 seed contenders. These are teams that I think are playoff teams, but I don't know how serious I'm going to take them. Bus crash contenders and true contender. Spoiler alert, that the fact that that's not plural. True contender, the team that I think could win it all. Bus crash contenders probably need a little bit of luck to go their way. Don't we all need a little bit of luck in life? I have no clue the order of these teams. So we're just going to go wherever they are at, starting with the Utah Jazz. Funny enough, it's funny because they got a win last night against the Brooklyn Nets. And the Jazz, they do this. I'm putting the Jazz in the fun bad tier. We can't spend a ton of time talking about each team, but I'm putting the Jazz in the fun bad tier. They do this almost every single year where it's like the record starts to reach a point where fans are like, hey, are we going to fucking tank? Like, what's going on here? But then a game like last night, you watch and it's like, they closed the game against the Nets with Larry Markkinen and a bunch of first and second year guys. So I don't really know what else they could do. Keontae George has really taken a leap forward this season, and it has been enjoyable to watch. So that's exciting for Jazz fans, because last year I didn't think he was an NBA player really, but he's really taken, his shot diet's way better. His finishing around the rim is so much better. He just looks way more confident. And Ace Bailey is slowly but surely starting to become much more confident as the season wears on. So they'll be bad. They'll be towards the bottom of the league, but they are, once again, a pretty fun tanking team, which they've been for the last few years. The Los Angeles Clippers. Well, let's see. Where do we think they are? I think they're fun bad too, honestly. Like, they're bad. They're not good. I think things will eventually trend up in a upward direction for them for the sake of the league, get better. But right now, they're just kind of dependent on James Harden going out there and playing batshit insane basketball, which is cool because he's capable of doing that. But, like, that's a lot. And if James Harden were to tweak his ankle, God forbid, and miss a couple weeks, like, what the fuck's going to happen to this team? They got rid of Chris Paul. They jettisoned him away. The vibes seem terrible. But I do kind of think things are going to turn around. And I'm not going to lie, like, they've been horrible. But James Harden's been very good, and it has been kind of enjoyable to watch him do this at this stage of his career. But man, they got, like, their defense, dude. They got eaten alive by the Dallas Mavericks a few nights ago. Like, and the Mavs have been playing better offensively. We'll talk about them here in a second. But, like, Jesus Christ, the Miami Heat. I think this is like a top 6 contender. I don't think they're in this tier with the sort of secondary contending tier. I don't know how much I trust this play style for them come playoff time, but they are still a very good team. They play hard as fuck. They can go deep in their rotation. Norm Powell's been fantastic so far this season. Really one of the best, I think, pound for pound moves in the entire offseason, that trade Miami did, getting Norm Powell for basically nothing. Just a genius stroke there from Pat Riley. I do think they're a sleeper Giannis team. Because I think if Khalil Ware were available in that trade, that's a pretty interesting young guy because he's been fantastic so far this season. He's been fantastic. Had a slow start to the year, but has really picked it up as of late. Can shoot threes, block shots. He's dynamic offensively. I've compared him to Christian Wood. That's not fair to him. He's much better than that. He impacts winning much more than that. And the two-man lineups with him and Bam Adebayo, they work. Their numbers are very good. They don't run them very often. Spoelstra still has this weird thing with him where even in post-game pressers, he's like, yeah, he was okay tonight. I don't really know what's going on there, but they've got something in Khalil Ware. I'll tell you that much. He looks very, very good. Tyler Hero's been back. obviously. Still kind of managing his injury status along with Norm Powell as well. They kind of intertwine games that they miss. But this is a good Miami Heat team, and they are pretty fun to watch. My Mavericks beat them, though. We got to pick up the pace on some of these. Sacramento Kings. I mean, some of these teams I'm not going to spend much time talking about. The Kings fucking suck. It's a complete and total embarrassment. Because some of the other teams in this tier are like really trying to be bad. The Kings are not trying to be bad, but they are bad. At least Maxime Reynald has looked pretty good lately. Like second round guy, he's looked pretty good. He's got to get stronger. I mean, he's an older rookie, so you never really know with these dudes. But yeah, okay. The Chicago Bulls. This one is shocking because the last one we did, I almost think I had the Bulls in the bus crash contender tier. I'd have to go back and look. If that's true, that's fucking pitiful on my end. But they've been horrific as of late. So bad that I am actually putting them in the fun bad tier. I mean, they've been that level of bad. I'm going to put them behind the Utah Jazz even. We talked about them a little bit yesterday, but they've had a toilet bowl schedule as of late, like literally playing the dregs of the league, and they have lost damn near every single one of those games. The only win they've had in the last, 7 games or something like that? They're currently in the midst of a 5-game losing streak, but the only win they've had in the last 7 games was a 1-point win against the Wizards. Over that stretch, they've lost to the Pelicans, the Hornets, the Pacers, the Nets. I mean, it's all gone downhill. Defensively, they're terrible. Their effort level is awful. Giddey's been great, though, so kudos to them, and kudos to Josh Giddey. The Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns go right here in the top 6 seed contender. They've been very impressive. To me, they've been the most pleasantly surprising team in the league so far this season, just because I didn't really expect this at all. They play very hard. They're getting contributions up and down their roster. And I mean, they're dealing with injuries too. Booker's going to miss some time, but I mean, they've got some two-way guys playing that check in, and you're like, who the fuck is that? Dylan Brooks is playing out of his mind. I mean, there's some offensive stats with him that are crazy. That he's like one of the most efficient post-up players in the league and one of the most efficient isolation players in the league. He's getting it done in a serious way. This team is fun to watch. Like they are an enjoyable basketball team. Colin Gillespie's been playing out of his mind, been one of the best 3-point shooters in the entire NBA so far this season. Ryan Dunn, I think, has impressed me quite a bit with his defensive output. They just try a lot defensively. And then you got guys coming off the bench like Jordan Goodwin. And then some of these other guys, like I was saying, Jameer Bouye, two-way guy, comes in and just gives a fuck ton of energy. I like him. I like them a lot. Kudos to them. What's the name of the new coach? Otis? It's not Otis. Otto something. Like they're playing good basketball. Kudos to them. Milwaukee. This is one of the tough ones because this is kind of an outlook thing, but the Milwaukee Bucks have been really struggling as of late. And now that Giannis is going to miss 2 to 4 weeks, and who knows, he might not play another game for them. I don't know how I can put them anywhere other than fun bad, as crazy as that is to say. They're going to go in the fun bad tier just because I do think they'll probably lose a bunch of games without Giannis. They've been terrible without him so far this season. They did win against the Pistons after he got hurt, which was nice, but it'll be kind of fun to watch like Ryan Rollins and KPJ trying to lead this team to wins. But I don't think they'll be very good. And it'll be interesting to see if Giannis plays another game for them. That's just kind of what I'm thinking. The Dallas Mavericks. What do we do with the Mavs? Part of me wants to put them in the play-in tier. I'm so trash. I am so trash. I'm going to put them in the fun bad tier, but I'm going to have them lead it. They've won 3 straight games. They've looked a lot better as of late. They've been a competitive team. They've played more clutch games than anybody. So even though they're losing games, they've been competitive, and they've sort of turned this corner now into being a fairly halfway competent offense when Anthony Davis plays the 5. Cooper Flagg has been just great. He was the rookie of the month in the Western Conference. No surprise there, really. But he's just been so much better. So just looks so much more comfortable each game he plays, and it's just been a big-time contributor. Like, beyond just being a rookie, like a big-time contributor over the last 5 or so games, and he's their best clutch player. It's fun to watch. Ryan Nembhard contributes. Again, AD's been good since he's come in and played the 5. So they turned into a pretty fun team to watch, and who knows, they might be better than this the next time we do one of these, because I've been saying all year, there's the skeletons of a good team here. And if this team is like really wanting to tank, they're going to have to make trades. They can't just roll this team out there and expect to lose a bunch of games, because they'll win games. They've got an interesting back-to-back coming up. Oklahoma City Thunder tonight, Houston Rockets tomorrow night. If they win both of those, we're going to start acting a little reckless, folks. We're going to start looking at the best comebacks in history. Golden State, kind of wrecked by injuries right now. One of the funniest developments of this entire season for me, Brandon Podziemski, a.k.a. Shohei Ohtani. No, I'm not calling him that. He called himself the Shohei Ohtani of basketball. What the fuck does that mean? I have no clue. Also, somebody who said that he's going to be the next Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors franchise. Isn't even the best white guy on his team. Maybe not even the second best, right? Because you got Quentin Post. Pat Spencer is just straight up a better basketball player than Brandon Podziemski. And Pat Spencer has damn near carried this team to near wins in each of their recent losses, one to the Oklahoma City Thunder, where they didn't look half bad in a game where Steph was out, obviously, and Jimmy got hurt in. And also a close loss to who did they just lose to? The Sixers in a crazy comeback attempt last night. But, I'm going to put them here in the play-in tier. They just look incredibly mid to me. Draymond got hurt last night, too, in that game. I don't know the update there. But, Kuminga is just, dude, I cannot wait for this saga to end. It's such a terrible fit. They clearly hate each other. And Podziemski's the most hilarious player to me, unintentionally funny. And I'm meaning that in a derogatory term. Okay. Because sometimes you say, oh, he's a hilarious player. And you're saying it like kind of like tongue in cheek, like, oh, we're all laughing with him. We're laughing at Podziemski. Okay. I want to be very clear about that. So yeah, I've got Golden State here. San Antonio. So this is maybe one of my biggest flag planting moments here. I'm putting them in this tier. I'm putting them in the bus crash contenders tier. What are they? 7-2 without Wemby, with Stephon Castle missing time during that stretch as well. The reason why I'm putting them this high is, one, they've won a bunch of games. So they're like 15-6. I mean, they're winning games, right? So it's not crazy to put them here. But I think this team, if Wemby comes back and is healthy, this team could make a pretty deep playoff run right now. Okay. I've shitted on Fox quite a bit. Obviously, I don't know if they would have made that trade if they knew they were going to get Dylan Harper in this draft. But he's been really good as of late. My fucking guy that I've stuck my neck out for time and time again, and I felt like he's let me down time and time again, Devin Vassell, has been so good as of late. And I feel so happy for him because he's been one of my ride or die dudes forever. And I think if Wemby and Stephon Castle come back and are healthy the rest of the year, dude, I think this team can make a really deep push. They have really good depth. I love Luke Cornett as a backup big. He had that game-winning block against the Orlando Magic. And Dylan Harper is really fucking good. And I think he's going to be one of these rookies that just get better over the course of the season. This is a really good team that will only get better as the season progresses, I think. So I've got them up here with these teams. That makes total sense to me. Cleveland. If you didn't know any better, like straight up, I'm putting them below the Suns. I'm putting them below the Heat. If you didn't know any better entering the season, you didn't know like what the expectations for this team was, you'd think this Cleveland team was like, oh yeah, maybe we make the 6th seed or something. Like I picked them to finish first in the East this year. They've been incredibly disappointing. They just look like a mediocre ass team. And yeah, they're dealing with a ton of injuries to, some pretty key guys and just some key rotation players. Like Strus played a minute so far this season. Merrill's been hurt, but like Lonzo looks cooked. It looked kind of okay for a bit. Lonzo looks cooked. Darius Garland is dealing with this fucking toe injury. This guy's either misses time or is playing through an injury. It feels like 80% of the games he's in. And he's like the thing that makes them go. Donovan Mitchell's been unbelievable. He's been one of the 5 best players in the league so far this year, right? Like he's going to make an All-NBA first team if he continues this level of play. But like Mobley's, what do they call him? Mobley's nickname is 18-7. That's Mobley's nickname on Twitter. 18-7. You need 24-10, you're getting 18-7. His defense is good, but like this team is just so mediocre in so many different levels. It's really disappointing. And they've got time to turn it around, and hopefully Garland just progressively gets more healthy over the course of the season. How often does that happen? But yeah, it's been really disappointing for them. And I don't know. I just watch them, and they just feel like a mediocre team. And I say mediocre, I mean like maybe a 5 seed in the East, right? I think there are other Eastern Conference teams that look way better than them. So that's kind of concerning for me. Denver, I mean, they're in this tier too. They've been so some of these on-off numbers, and it's been this way forever because the way the Nuggets use, especially with Michael Malone, the way that they did their bench and starting groups where their starters played more together than any other starting groups in the NBA, which is why Jokic is on off swings. One, he's really good and really impactful, but also because, he's playing with all the starters and all the bench comes in. That's why his on-off swings are so dramatic. But if you always looked, Aaron Gordon was always to the very top there as well. And that case is true again this year. They cannot defend without Aaron Gordon. They can't play a lick of defense. Like they're a terrible defensive team when Aaron Gordon doesn't play. So when he comes back, obviously this is one of the best teams in the league and they'll be competing for a championship. For the time being, obviously, they're still really good. Don't get me wrong, Jokic is having a great season. He's been horrible defensively, but he's having a fantastic offensive season. Jamal Murray's been fantastic as well. This very well could be the all-star year for him. When this team's healthy, they're one of the best in the world. Without Aaron Gordon, though, They don't defend anybody. OKC, this is them, the true contender, 21-1. J-Dubs played 3 games. He looked really good against Golden State, his 3rd game back. This team is a fucking juggernaut. If they don't win the NBA Finals, something crazy's happened. Like, if they don't win the NBA Finals, if some team beats them and they're healthy, like they're relatively healthy, there will be like a Netflix documentary now owned by Warner Bros. Our Warner Bros. Documentary now owned by Netflix. There will be a documentary about it, would be my guess, because that's how insane they look. Shea is playing at a level, and I know you guys hate it and roll your eyes, but Shea is playing at a level that I'm begging you guys to just appreciate what you're seeing. He's up to 43% from 3 now. Okay? He's been one of the most efficient clutch scorers in the NBA. I think his true shooting percentage in the clutch is like 70-something%. It's obscene. And he's got a bit of swagger about him this year that he's had in years past. And he's kind of had he's always been kind of a quiet demeanor guy on the floor. But in years past, he's kind of had like a fuck you, like I'm that guy type of personality that's sort of faded the last couple years. That's kind of back again this year. He's like mean mugging and talking shit. This team is disgustingly good. Like, this team might set the all-time wins record. They're going to eclipse 70 wins, assuming that they stay relatively healthy, because they're even dealing with injuries and they still steamroll everybody they fucking play. No teams like the Warriors, the power of friendship Warriors, like, we're sticking around. And then the Thunder just punched them in the mouth repeatedly towards the end of the game. It's like, no, you're not. We're just kind of stringing you along at this point. I do not see how anybody even, like, there should be a tier gap, honestly. I don't even think it's fair to the Thunder to have a tier directly below them. That's where I'm at with them, truth be told. Houston, in my opinion, this is the 2nd best team in the league currently. They're just getting it done, man. They defend like crazy. Offensively, they're great. They rebound the basketball. They got so much athleticism. They've got so much size. Reed Shepherd is taking the step that he needed to take. Şengün is taking the legitimate top 10 leap that we kind of thought was possible for him, but he's there to take. And really, if you were to tell me that the Rockets look like this, I would have guessed. I mean, Thompson has taken that huge step too, and he's been good, but he hasn't been sort of what I was kind of hoping he would be. And they've got the pathways to make more moves like they do. So, yeah, they're incredible. They're, in my opinion, the 2nd best team in the league as of right now. And Şengün, our guy Şengün'i, has just been balling. And they get contributions from, their role guys as well. Like, Tari Eason's barely played this year. I love their team. They're really fun to watch. They've played with more of a fuck you edge. Realistically, it's because the Thunder bark and stuff. And here I go again with the Thunder. The Thunder did all the barking thing and they were a little bit corny, but they play with the most fuck you edge in the league. I think the Rockets are probably right there with them in terms of that. Minnesota. This is an interesting one because part of me wants to put them here. Part of me wants to put them in this mix. I'm going to hold off just for the time being. I'll explain why. Anthony Edwards has been playing like a man possessed. I watched both of their games against the Pelicans. They did one of those baseball series games in New Orleans, two straight games there, and 40-plus points, I think, in the first game. Couldn't miss from 3. Second game, bunch of turnovers, low-scoring game, got in foul trouble. So if you looked at the box score, you'd be like, ugh, kind of a shitty Ant game. And by his standards, it was a shitty game. Don't get me wrong. But he's reached this level as a scorer where teams, and the Pelicans deployed this, are picking him up full court and doubling him pretty much the moment he passes half court without like screens. They're just sending doubles. Like Luka gets doubled a lot, and a lot of that is because the teams blitz the picks, right? But teams are just sending 2 at Anthony Edwards, and they're getting so much better at playing out of those. And that is going to be really important for them. I'm just still worried about their backup guard situation. Like if they had a better option there, I'd feel way better about them. And maybe they will by the trade deadline. Who knows? But they're coming up. They might be in this tier next time we do this. Who's to say, really? Indiana, I'm not going to spend too much time here. They're one of these teams. I don't know. I honestly don't know the last time I watched an Indiana game. Let's get the Indiana Pacers there. Whatever, they're horrible this year. Washington Wizards are the worst team in the league. Sarr's been out, which absolutely sucks. Bob Carrington looks like the worst big rotation minute player, a big minute rotation guy in the NBA, which is very unfortunate. Second year guy, but he was a first round pick last year, and he's been not good. Will Riley's finally starting to play, who's a first round pick for them this year. So that's fun. But yeah, they're absolutely atrocious. So we'll put them there. Detroit basketball. Are they still number 1 in the East? Yeah, I'm gonna put them. I don't look at them as contenders, but I'll put them right here towards the top of this tier. I just don't think they're here with these other teams. their loss against Milwaukee, whatever, individual game losses happen. It is what it is. But it kind of showcased some of the concerns I have where I don't know if Cade is consistently at that level yet, because I think he still has these games where his shot's just not falling. I wish his three ball is just a little bit more reliable, because I don't know how confident I am. Like, Shea's three ball is not that reliable. I know he's shooting really well from three this year, but I just feel so confident in his scoring ability everywhere else on the floor. I'm just not totally there with Cade yet, and they're still just a young team, you know. They still have some things to work out, but they're very good, obviously. I would not want to play them in the playoffs. And in the Eastern Conference, could this Detroit Pistons team win the East? Absolutely. Absolutely, they could. Why not? Why not? Brooklyn, you will put them here in this bottom tier as well. Although they're kind of the same thing like as some of these other teams. They're not horrible to watch. Danny Wolf's been playing as of late. He had a poster on, who did he poster? Was it Miles Bridges? And then when he gets the Hornets, it is hilarious looking. Like, it is hilarious looking. Somebody said he looked like, what's that dude's name? Michael Rappaport. And he does. Danny Wolf's playing, and it's good. Igor Dioman's shot pro diet is just the most hilarious thing. They've got some stuff to be somewhat excited about. No Clowney is probably their most encouraging, like, non-rookie, right? But yeah, I mean, they're bad. No toys around it. But there's the bones there. They compete. How about that? Atlanta. I think Atlanta goes in here. Top 6 seed contenders. Kind of an interesting group. Really interested to see what they look like once Trae Young finally comes back. Jalen Johnson is a baller. Zachary Richichet. There's just this really weird thing going on right now where some spreadsheet guys will say, well, Richichet is like has the best on-off numbers on the Hawks, so actually he's playing well. He's just not. I mean, it's kind of alarming what Richichet looks like for the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft. Would like to see him start to play a little bit better. Some other stuff for this Hawks teams with their like rotations. And I'll throw some bail to them because they are dealing with injuries, especially to their guards. But like, man, Keaton Wallace plays a lot of minutes. He plays a lot of minutes on this team. But I like this team quite a bit. I love Jalen Johnson. You guys know that. I don't need to get into the weeds about it. But they're kind of in this mix right here. You know, I'm kind of looking at this, and I think the Timberwolves are too. Like, to be clumped together with these teams to me feels a little bit wonky, but you know, whatever. Don't read too much into it. Okay. New Orleans, they're down here as well. Just really unfortunate because unlike some of these other teams here, like they actually have, I think they're better than Sacramento. Actually, they actually don't have their pick, which is quite scary. I will say this though. Jeremiah Fears has been probably my second favorite rookie in the league so far this year, behind Cooper Flagg, obviously. Just to watch, he's so fast, and he plays with such an edge. And these like smaller guards, I always get worried about. They've burned me in the past, so I try to just kind of avoid it. And that was my case with him entering the draft. He's got to be the second fastest player in the league, like behind Fox, because I think Fox will just always kind of be the fastest guy. He's got to be the second. He's so fucking quick, so lightning fast. And to his credit, I think with his size, he'll never be like a great defender. He competes his ass off defensively, and he's got a huge edge. I mean, he's got a huge edge to him. We've seen that. Him getting into yelling matches with Luka Doncic. Will that work for you in the long run? Probably not, but it's fun to see, right? I love watching him play, and I love watching Queen play. I've actually weirdly watched a ton of Pelicans games. And I know that it's weird because it's a tanking team, and Trey Murphy did have a good game against the Timberwolves a couple nights ago, but man, it feels like Trey Murphy just floats around a whole bunch. For a guy who's like, would they trade the second overall pick for him? It's like, this guy just floats a ton. And I know his play style probably fits better on a good team and whatnot, whatever. The Knicks. New York. Okay, I'll put them here. I mean, I just don't. I think they're better than all these teams. I don't think they're as good as these teams, though. Should there be another tier? Whatever. We'll put them here. I have my concerns with them defensively, with Brunson and Cat. Just always will. Josh Hart's been fantastic this year. You know, that was one of those things where like, you can't start Josh Hart. Like, you got to mix this up. You got to get more shooting, more floor spacing. But Josh Hart's been so good this year that you do have to start him pretty much. And Mikal Bridges, man. Mikal Bridges has been unbelievably good so far this season. Like, there are games where if you didn't know any better, I'm thinking about the game they had a couple nights ago against, who was it? They lost. Boston, wasn't it? You watch, you're like, well, if you didn't know any better, it's like, well, Mikal Bridges is their best player, right? Yeah, I still think they're really good. I'll put them here. OG's going to come back hopefully soonish. Yeah, I like them here. They're good. I have my questions about them, but I think in terms of just contending, I think they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, best suited to win this conference as it stands right now. I'll probably put Orlando the second one. I know they had their really horrible start to the season, which led to is Jamal Mosley going to get fired tomorrow night? Like, what's happening? Peanut butter. And that's what they're calling him, guys. Paolo Banchero is coming back tonight. He needs to be good. Because I'm just saying what Twitter's calling him is Peanut Butter 5. That's his nickname. It's one of the most disrespectful nicknames in quite some time. Peanut Butter. They're talking a lot of shit about you, Peanut Butter. Okay? You need to get out there. You need to get out there and prove them wrong. But they've been good in his absence, winning a bunch of games. That's kind of been the trend with this team in Franz and Paolo's careers, that they're just better when Franz is playing versus when Paolo's playing. But Suggs has been a man possessed this season. And they're just so much better when he plays. They look like legit one of the best teams in the league when he's on the floor. And early in the year, it was a little bit rough because he missed, whatever it was, a few weeks to start the season. Then he was on a 20-minute restriction. His minutes have gone up, and he's just been playing better. And Jace Richardson, get him in the lineup, Mosley. Get him in the lineup, damn it. Grizzlies, I got to admit that I was wrong about something. I'm going to put them here in the top of the playing tier, which is great considering where they were like a month ago. I got to admit I was wrong about something here, man. I never really bought into the Zach Edey stuff. I just thought he was too big and lumbering, and those guys, whatever, we know how it goes with those guys. He looks like their most impactful player. Ever since he's come back, they've been good. They've dominated his minutes. He looks like the most impactful player on their team by a fucking mile. So let's hope that he can stay healthy, because it doesn't make sense, because he's supposed to be this slow lumbering big. That's supposed to be what he is, where he's just kind of like a Donovan Clingan, where, it's kind of this weird fit, and he's so slow. But Edey moves so well, and he just takes up space, and he's so smart in like where he is on the floor. And he's just so gigantic that it really works. And he's been by far the most impactful player. So I got to eat crow there. Like, he's very good. Jaren Jackson Jr., that's embarrassing for you. You're making $60 million a year. I'm not over your ass. You're making $60 million a year, and Zach Edey's more impactful than you? What the fuck is that? Philadelphia 76ers got another one of these weird-ass teams. I'm going to put them in this tier, too. We'll sandwich them in between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. Just a really hot start to the season that felt fraudulent if you just dove into it a little bit with their shooting numbers and just the absurd fourth quarter luck they had. Tyrese Maxey's playing out of his mind. Got to make an all-star game again. Got to make an all-NBA team. Embiid's missing games, and even when he does play, it doesn't look like Embiid. Paul George has been pretty good in the limited games that he's played. They're just kind of dealing with a slew of different injuries. Kelly Oubre's out now, obviously, and VJ has kind of fallen substantially. Although I will say this about VJ, where it does feel like defenses have kind of wisened up, like, hey, not the best shooter, so try to avoid these hard closeouts that lead to him getting, beating you with his first step and driving to the rim, because also his creation ability is not there yet. He competes his ass off defensively, and he's been very good defensively as of late, just making plays, had some huge plays in that game against the Warriors down the stretch last night, including the game winner, right? Catching a Maxey air ball, just a horribly designed play to win it all. To win the game, catching a Maxey air ball and finishing it. But he made some big defensive plays down the stretch of that game that even gave them the chance to win in a game in which they embarrassed themselves late, but did pull it out. So they're kind of right here. I really don't know what to make of them. Honestly, I have no idea, really. Boston. I mean, this is a team I was definitely wrong about. No two ways around that. We'll put Boston here. Like, they look like a good team. Jaylen Brown's been incredible this season. I kind of scoffed at the idea of him leading the league in scoring. He won't lead the league in scoring, obviously, but he's been way better than I thought he would be, just in terms of like being efficient and not turning the ball over. He's been one of the most prolific mid-range guys in the league this year. And I mean, I don't really get it. I do get it, because he's a big-time energy big, and part of the on-off stuff is they don't really have a great backup big option. But Keita is just one of the most impactful players in the league by most impact metrics. And I think it just aligns with the fact that they don't have a great backup big. If this team had made a move for a backup center, which they could, I will take them so much more seriously in terms of somebody who can compete in the Eastern Conference in the postseason. I think that depth is going to come back to bite them in the ass. But then they go out there and they get contributions from, like, Jordan Walsh has been playing out of his mind lately. Jordan Walsh, Hugo Gonzalez, Josh Minot. This trio just plays like their hair's on fire all the time, and it is pretty fun to watch. Like, Shout out to Joe Mazzulla, man. He really is up there. He's one of the best coaches in the league by far. Like this season kind of stamps it and cements it. Charlotte, whatever, we'll put them down here. They've actually really kind of disappointed me because they're always one of my most fun bad teams, and they're just kind of like, all right, I'm kind of getting tired of their gimmick, truth be told. LaMelo is good every third game, barely plays. Like I'm just kind of done with their gimmick. Cons, 3 like shooting splits have fallen off pretty badly here over the last week, but that's going to happen from time to time with some of these rookies. So I'm not overly concerned about that. And yeah, I mean, I saw somebody tweet this out, and it so perfectly encapsulates the Hornets, where it's like, if you didn't know any better, if you've never watched a Charlotte Hornets game before, you would think Miles Bridges was the best player on the team any game you watched him, but he was having an off night. That's so funny because that is exactly how he plays. Where it's like, oh, that guy must be their best player, but he's just having an off night. No, that's every game for him pretty much. Maybe 1 in 5 where that's not the case. It's time to move on from Miles Bridges. All right, we'll speed these up, these last 3. Portland. I'll put them in fun bad. Yeah. Unfortunately, they're just dealing with so many different injuries. And they were better than this before all of their injuries. But now they've just lost so many perimeter defenders. I thought that they were going to be a really solid defensive team. And I think when healthy, they'll be a good, solid defensive team with Drew Holiday. Weirdly, like Blake Wesley's so important for them, and he's missed time. Dible's been out, obviously. No surprise there. And now Klingon, it looks like, might be dealing with some type of injury. But, they're better than, I think, what they've been recently defensively. It is fun to watch Deni Avdija, though. He's clearly taken that leap into, I don't know what status. I mean, all-star for sure. But beyond that, like, he looks like one of the 15 best guys in the league so far this season. He's one of the most prolific foul drawers in the league. I think I saw it's the most free throws a Portland Trailblazer has ever had over a 5-game stretch or something like that. In his last 5 games, one of the best drivers in the league. And he's just impacting the game in so many different ways now that he doesn't even need like an efficient shooting night to put up a gaudy stat line. So I've got them here. They're just losing games. They're just so injured. But shout out to Deni Avdija. Toronto. Damn, they're good too, huh? We'll put Toronto here in the top 6 seed contenders. Maybe we could have split this into a different category, but whatever. Toronto, they're getting it done. Scotty Barnes looks fantastic. Anybody who's sold Scotty Barnes stock, I sold a little bit of it. Looking a little bit foolish right now. They've been great. And it's really their bench that's just one of the more surprising things. Like, their starting 5, it looked like, yeah, this would be good, but their bench is so bad. But, like, Jamal Shedd's been good. They're getting contributions from some of these guys. Jacoby Walter's been good, but he's been plugged into the starting 5 with RJ Barrett out. They're getting contributions from these guys in an impressive way. They're a good team. I like the pace they play with. They've got a lot of size and physicality. I do kind of hate, I wish they had, I wish I was more confident in their late game offense, because it is, this happened in their game last night where they lost. Fuck, who do they play? Who the hell did they lose to last night, man? Either way, they lost. And it was like, Brandon Ingram take the worst shot you've ever seen. That was like their game plan down the stretch. Don't love that. And the Lakers, I got to put them here, I guess. I'm sorry. I don't think they're here. Oh, there was the Lakers is who they played. Duh. They lost to the Lakers last night. And Austin Reeves, 40 points. He's averaging 40 points a game when Luka doesn't play. Yeah, sure. He's hitting 35-foot threes all the time. All right, yeah, I guess. I'm putting them here. The reason why I'm saying, like, I just do not believe this defense is anywhere near good enough to be an actual contending team. But offensively, I thought they could be the best offense in the league entering the season, and they look at times like the best offense in the NBA with Luka and Reeves playing the way that they've played so far this year. LeBron's scaring me a little bit, because it's one thing if he weren't 41, I would give him that, well, he had a back injury coming into the year, like he needs to get going, he needs to get his legs under him. Dude, that game last night against Toronto, he was racking up assists. This is the Boris Diaw era of LeBron's career. But man, some of those misses, it looked like a 45-year-old. Not a 41-year-old, a 45-year-old. So I'm a little bit concerned if this is really the last hurrah. Right? And I love, like, if you watch that game, the whole LeBron sacrificed his 10-point streak. Man, he wasn't hitting shit. There was no sacrificing. There was no sacrifice. He wasn't hitting shit. He was bombing threes, man. I think you could tell. He was like, I got to get some points. Man, I'm at 5 points. I got to get some. And I just love he could have easily taken that. I mean, it would have been a garbage-ass shot, and Rui Hachimura was wide open in the corner. Like, of course he's going to make that pass. So I'll put them here just out of respect to their offense, because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, defensively, they're almost certainly not good enough. And yeah, their depth, way too many one-dimensional guys. That'll come back to bite them in the ass come playoff time. But do you want to see Luka and Reeves in a playoff series? Do you want to be against that for 7 games in a playoff series where if your superstar has a couple bad games, now all of a sudden you're down 3-2 going back to LA? Luka's got a chance to close it out? No, you don't want to see that at all. You don't want to see that one bit. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about this. Here's my tier list. I want to know, what do you guys agree with, disagree with? I love you all so much. Bye-bye.